Okay, so today, to deepen and connect some more with your partner, we're going to do a team project. And, this may be something that you're familiar with already. Maybe you guys have lots of things that you do together and lots of projects that you take on together. I know a lot of people sort of swear by this as a really great way to bring in connection or bring things back together. If things have gotten distant, pick something to do together. Some people have it as that mainstay that brought them together in the first place. This shared interest kind of thing is what got us together in the first place. So doing projects together might be, something you're already super familiar with, or maybe you just think that is the definition of our lives anyway. It is a team project. Our relationship is a team project. Of course, to some degree, that is totally true. You are already working on this team project together. That is your relationship. So, whatever the case may be, and, other people really don't have a lot of very specific team projects outside of just, the relationship that they're working on, or just daily life and living together and, that kind of thing, sharing life together, that they really do specifically together. And that's fine too. But whatever the case is, for this day, for this game, we're going to do a team project that is very specifically a team project that's not just everyday life, something else, something outside of what you typically do. That is a project that you guys can both pick. And right out of the gates, we're going to pick it as a team. So you have to come together as a warm-up. It's like you're exercising and warming up your negotiation muscles, because you're going to maybe need them for this whole team project thing, to come up with the project together. You're going to exercise those muscles by deciding what you want to do. Do you want to just do something simple like build a Lego house together, some giant Lego configuration? Or do you want to take some sort of really challenging hike? Or do you want to do something bigger than that? Is there something in your lives that you guys could really do as a project? Like maybe write a particular book together, or it doesn't have to be as massive as a book. It could be something smaller, like I needed to get this done for my business, and I want to bring you in and have this be a thing that we do as a project. Or you can kind of just pick, if you're having a hard time picking, you could just pick the next thing that comes up that you need to do, that the partner needs to do. If it can be made into a team thing, even if it's difficult to think of it as a team thing, make it a team thing. I mean, it could be something simple like clean the house, but decide together, and then let's keep this really, tight, because, we don't want it to just ooze into something that's too much like our everyday. Let's make sure it's a real team project, meaning it can't be really completed unless both people are doing it, not the kind of team projects that we all are too familiar with. Back from days in school when you were partnered up with a team project and or a person for a team project, and one of you could potentially get away with doing more of the work and the other one didn't, and they just kind of plugged in where necessary as a servant. It's not one person is the leader and the other person is just the lackey that does everything. Really try to make it a true definition of team. I understand teams do have leaders and there can still be one, but the efforts have to be equally important in both group members. This project relies upon both of our efforts in the same level of importance, to the same degree of importance. So that, it's the project can't really happen unless both of us are contributing. My piece is just important as your piece, It can't just be okay, we're doing this Lego house and I'll just sit here and read the instructions if you mess up, or tell you if you mess up, and you're just going to do it all, not that. And we do divide labor that way sometimes in our partnerships, and right away that's what we're seeing. We're playing with this. Ooh, how does that go? Do you guys tend to, kind of pick and choose and do the, somebody takes 3/4 of it and the other person's just the 25% assist? And just how does that go in your dynamic? You're getting information about your dynamic, but we're also getting out of that dynamic and trying other stuff and just seeing how that goes. So, You're going to get through this together, whatever it is. And I really think you should pick something that could last more than just today. I mean, we're just technically doing it today. It could be a one-day thing, or it could be something that you really like, pick and invest in. Like, we're going to learn this form of dance, Rumba or, whatever. And we're going to really, it takes both of us. It takes both of our energy equally to get this done and to really learn it and to be able to do it well. And then, have it be something that you're committed to for a little bit of time and see how it goes. But there will be negotiation. And if you're doing this and playing this out with that true team mentality, then there should be a lot of talking and planning. Even if you're just like going on a hike up a mountain, there should be some deciding and some deliberating, a little bit. I mean, even if you're like pretty clear on your path or something, I mean, decide what else. Decide your pace, or, yes, also maybe make sure that the hike is going to involve some different decisions about, when should we turn back? How long should we go? And these could be too simple. I mean, that one might be too simple. Because I do want there to be some decision making happening and some negotiations, and you're just exercising that. It's like, I know that we do this all the time in everyday life already, but when it's inconsequential and it's fun and it's just a thing that can be playful, we're picking something, fun to do together or outside of our ordinary to do together, which always ends up being fun, just because it feels like you're sort of stretching outside of what is the usual, and it's like the opposite of boredom, so we're picking something like that. It gives us this great opportunity to exercise things like negotiation and communication, and just like, what roles do we usually step into? Be a little bit more aware. Do I usually take charge? Am I usually the first person to grab the set of instructions, or do I pass them off? What is our typical dynamic, and let's see if we can change it. And, just noticing, because it doesn't mean you have to change anything. You could, do this and be like, yep, I'm usually the leader and they're usually the helper. And that's the way we like it. And we love this. This is our relationship. We're proud of it. Like, absolutely. This isn't about like breaking everything apart, like you have to change it, but it is about deepening in your relationship and trying other things, seeing if the other person can play the role, if they were needed to be in that role, see if you don't like a different combo better, but mostly just to know our relationship. It's like, this importance of knowing yourself. There's lots of quotes about that, but know thy relationship as well. Just kind of like knowing your dynamic and really deepening that way. I feel like that's really cool and important too, when you just like not necessarily trying to change things, just trying to do things in an exercise, in a game, and like noticing with a different level of awareness as you do, just to kind of get feedback. Like, how are we? What do we like? What works good for us? Works well for us? What works well for us? Oh my God, I was editing a video earlier, and there was also a grammar mistake, and I was thinking like, how did that even happen? I never do such a thing. And then I just did one again. So whatever, just learning some things about myself right now as I'm talking about observing yourselves as you guys play this game and just observing the dynamics of your relationship. And I hope you pick something fun, like pick a team project that's fun, or something that's serious, like deep fun too. I mean, even if it's like write a book together, I feel like that's just as fun. That's that deep, rewarding type of fun that makes you feel like, whoa, I'm really growing as a person. So, pick something juicy and satisfying, push your own limits, and do a team project.